In this video, I'm gonna be answering the question, when will my chicken start laying eggs, dang it? Well, I'm gonna be going over some feed that can get your hens laying, the importance of water and the different breeds, and when those breeds lay, and stay tuned till the end because I will give you some tips on how to trick them into laying. Hi there, welcome to the Happy Chicken Coop YouTube channel. Thanks for joining me today. Please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also subscribe to our website. If you subscribe using the link in the description, you'll receive a free ebook on the 10 best egg-laying chicken breeds. All right, without further ado, let's get into it. So the excitement of buying chicks is usually only surpassed by the arrival of that first egg. While you're caring for them as chicks, there is much to do and think about. It isn't until they become ungainly teenagers, eating us out of house and home, that our thoughts turn to the question, when will they lay? You've steered them carefully through the brooder stage. They've feathered out by 12 weeks or so and have been moved into the grown-ups coop. So now what? Well, surprisingly, there can be quite a wait for some hens to get into egg production mode. Depending on which breeds you have will determine how soon they'll lay, and lots of small steps need undertaking before your hen will begin to lay. So let's look at each step by step. Number one, feed that gets your hens laying. Now, here's a brand that I highly recommend. It's a great brand that will get your hens laying, but let's talk about this. Nutrition can have a huge effect on the egg laying machinery. If you want your hens to lay eggs, it's very important to maintain good nutrition through the formative weeks of the bird's life. Cutting corners with supplementation can lead to problems other than delayed egg production too. Many of them growth related. Equally as bad for them is too many treats. Fat hens are unhealthy and won't be as productive as you would like. You should feed your chicks starter feed for the first 6 weeks of life. Chick starter has 20 to 22% protein for rapid development of feathers and bones. Young pullets require slightly less protein, 14 to 16% from 6 to 20 weeks or until the birds start laying. Layers that are 20 weeks or above require 15 to 18% protein in their feed. Any slight variation in their protein can result in delayed onset of laying. Ensuring that feed you buy is fresh is important since many vitamins lose their effectiveness over time. That great deal on 4 bags of feed may not be so great if it's old feed. The next part is the importance of water. For your standard waterer, I just recommend a hanging galvanized double wall fount like this one here. Anyways, let's get into the importance. Clean fresh water is an often overlooked necessity. Chicks can drink a surprising amount of water for their size, but the main problem is with chicks is that they just dirty their water up almost nonstop. Between scratching up the litter into the drinker and pooping in it, the quality of the water needs to constantly be monitored and changed often. You can buy plastic elevation stands which will help keep the feed and water fresher, or you can even make your own wire stand. Elevating the drinker slightly will help, but you will still be changing the water frequently. Once they get bigger, this becomes less of a problem as you can suspend the drinkers and feeders higher up. If you are a fan of nipple drinkers, the good news is they can be used with day-old chicks apparently. All you need to do is show them how and where, and they quickly get the hang of it. As a precaution, I would still put in a regular small drinker for a couple of days to ensure hydration is adequate. Now, the third part of this is different breeds start laying at different ages. So which breed of chicken you chose will also come into play. Genetically, some of the newer breeds like golden comets have been bred specifically to lay lots of eggs. They may begin laying early as 16 weeks. The downside of this is that they usually don't live much longer than 3 years and production drops off like a freaking cliff. Rhode Island Reds, Delawares, and Barred Rocks are also early to lay, usually around 18 to 20 weeks. They are good proven layers and can lay into their 4th or 5th year, although not consistently. However, there are some breeds, mainly the larger, heavier fowl, that can take up to 28 weeks before they produce an egg, like the Brahma and the Jersey Giant. Now, also, what can delay egg laying is illnesses. Parasite infestations such as lice, mites, and worms can cause a delay in egg production. Regular hands-on health checks for your birds should be done monthly, more frequently. If you suspect a problem, you can take a sample to the veterinarian for a float test for worms if you think you do have an issue. Certain diseases such as fowl pox, coccidiosis, and infectious bronchitis can affect the bird significantly. If they contract the illness while still a pullet, it's possible that they will lay poorly for for the rest of their days. If you've bought your birds from a reputable source, this really shouldn't be an issue, except for the ever-present possibility of coccidiosis. Not only does this illness stop and delay them laying, but so does the daylight. What time of year are they coming to the point of lay? The amount of daylight will affect how quickly they start to lay. If a pullet is ready to lay in December, she may not actually produce an egg until days start to lengthen. Another reason they may be not laying is their access to the nesting boxes. I've mentioned before about stress in hens. The younger pullets who want to desperately lay an egg for you may be kept away from the nesting boxes by the older hens. A simple remedy for this is to just make temporary nesting boxes for the new girls. Things like an old wooden box, cardboard box, cat carrier with some straw nesting material can make a very nice impromptu nesting box. Once the pullets get the hang of it, things will relax. I have noticed with my flock that once a pullet starts to lay regularly, the flock dynamic changes a little. The older hens are slightly more accepting of the now laying pullets. If you think you should have more eggs than you can find, check around the area for likely nesting spots. Hens have been known to find some strange places to lay in. Compost bins, under bushes, even on seldom used shelves. So when will they start to lay? To answer the original question, broadly speaking, the majority of breeds will start to lay around 16 to 20 weeks. If they don't start around that time, do not worry. There is some evidence that hens that start to lay later live longer and have more productive lives. Never ever try to force your hens to lay sooner than they are designed to. This will lead to all sorts of reproductive problems such as vent prolapse, which can make the hen prone to more illnesses. For example, I have a friend who had a Millefleur Barbaducli bantam, and it took 6 months for the first egg to appear. Another month went by and a second egg appeared, just to put that out there. The moral of the story is to never assume that a hen goes immediately into full production mode. Here's a quick little tip, if your chickens aren't laying eggs. First off, if they aren't laying eggs, it could be due to illness, but if you've ruled everything else out, consider giving your hens a nudge with a few fake eggs. These are usually ceramic and you can find them in AG stores or online. All you do is place them in a nesting box and let the chickens do some investigating. Pullets that are not kept with older hens may take a little longer to lay, but if you show them the way, it can encourage them to start laying. It might be a little bit strange or even a little out there, but some people swear by it. So try it out. Also, if you haven't seen any eggs and your hens should have been laying for quite a while, there's a possibility your ladies have been eating their eggs. And then ceramic eggs are also even a better option there because they are a great way to deter your chickens from egg eating. They'll peck at the imposter eggs and eventually give up when they can't break the shell of the fake eggs. The breed of chicken you have will ultimately determine when she'll lay. There's nothing to be done about that. Most hens will start to lay at 20 weeks old. Some take longer. The key is patience and lots of it. It can be hard waiting for it, especially not knowing when the first egg will come, but it's worth the wait. If you found this video helpful, be sure to check this one out over here. That's going to do it for us here at the Happy Chicken Coop. Thanks for listening. If you find our content interesting, if you learned something new, please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And with that, I hope you have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.